So let's study how the Federal Reserve open market purchase of the government security will affect monetary base. In this case, I ask the question, what will happen to the currency, reserve, and the monetary base? If the Federal Reserve buy the securities in the open market, is there part of the monetary policies? So to answer this question, we have used the T account. In this case, because the Federal Reserve buy $1 million Treasury bill from the Bank of America, so it will affect the Federal Reserve, the balance sheet. It will also affect the balance sheet of the Bank of America. So let's look at what happened to the Bank of America, the balance sheet here. For the Bank of America, the T account, let's write out the asset A as asset, liability, and equity. When the Fed buy the $1 million security from the Bank of America, from the Bank of America standpoint, they sell the $1 million Treasury securities to Federal Reserve. As a result, the security held by the Bank of America declined by $1 million. So how can the Federal Reserve pay Bank of America? The Federal Reserve simply add $1 million into the reserve account of the Bank of America in the Federal Reserve systems. So the reserve held by the Bank of America will increase by $1 million. And on the asset side of the Bank of America, the balance sheet, security declined by $1 million, reserve increased by $1 million. So these two will offset each other. So the balance sheets still keep balanced. But what happened to the Federal Reserve balance sheet? We still use the T account to show what happened. And you have to recall what we learned previously. What will be the main item on the Federal Reserve balance sheet? Because the Federal Reserve buys security $1 million, where should we put the securities? And if you can record, securities is a part of the Federal Reserve's assets. Because the Federal Reserve buys security, now they have the $1 million additional Treasury security in their account. So the security here actually increased by $1 million. In addition, if you can record, the reserve is part of Federal Reserve, the liability, because the Federal Reserve add $1 more million to the Bank of America reserve, so reserve here will increase by $1 million as well. Now you can see these balance sheets still keep the balance because both the left hand side and the right hand side increased by the same amount, 1 million. So now come back to our question. What happened to the currency? C. Currency here, if you look at the T account of the Bank of America and the Federal Reserve, there's no change of the currency. So currency remain the same. So I use a bar to indicate these variables remain the same. What happened to the reserve? I use R to represent the reserve. From the whole system's standpoint, the reserve increased by $1 million. Increased. And what happened to the monetary base? And you have to break down the monetary base into the two components, currencies plus reserve. And the currency remain the same, and the reserve increased 1 million. So overall, monetary base will increase by 1 million. So our conclusion here is, if the Federal Reserve buy $1 million securities purchased in the open market, it will lead to the same amount of increase in the reserve. And it will lead to the same amount increase in monetary base.